There is a dangerous space in UK finance where almost nobody talks about. A space where the FCA cannot protect you. A space where affordability checks also do not tell the truth. And unfortunately, the rules end, but your real life begins. Now, I call this gap the FCA Gap. Imagine a young couple getting a mortgage approval, smiling, enjoying the moment, and not long after, stress at the kitchen table. Well, this is actually a reality, and between your reality and the actual truth is the gap I'm talking about. I have seen this story over and over. Someone gets approval for mortgage. The lender says yes. The affordability calculator says yes. The FCA rules says everything is fine. But 3 months later, they are drowning, and it is not because the lender missold them. No. It is also not because the broker didn't do their due diligence with them. No. It is something that the FCA do not regulate, and that is what I call the FCA gap. You want to stick to this video because it is imperative for you to know what this gap is and how to bridge the gap, if you can anyway. The FCA protects you from mis-selling, also from unfair contracts, hidden fees, and unsuitable advice. The FCA cannot protect you from your own behavior. The FCA gap is a space between your real life and what the rule actually covers. Now, this is not illegal. It is also not regulated, but very dangerous. Let's talk about some real UK examples. And the first one I want to touch on is a technically affordable mortgage. So in this instance, the lender says you can afford £1,450 per each calendar month. But the lender does not know you have 2 kids. The lender does not know that you have a car finance. You have a partner who is freelance. You have a rising food cost and a lifestyle you are trying to maintain. Therefore, regulation says you are fine because you are telling the system what you want the system to know. But when it comes to your reality, the system says you are overly stretched. The second one is the overdraft that feels like income. The FCA regulates overdraft fees. But what the FCA does not do is to prevent you or stop you from using your overdraft as a second income. Now, here is where the problem is, because it is gapped and is now dependent on your actual behavior. Number 3 is buy now, pay later that does not show on your credit file. I'm talking about Klarna, ClearPay, and the many others that we have out there. The FCA is only catching up, but you can have, say, £600 to a buy now, pay later, yet your mortgage broker will not pick this up on your credit file. And that is the gap I'm talking about, because it's actually a blind spot. It is not visible because it is contracted, and you know you're going to clear that fee anyway, but there are times that it does not reflect on your credit file. And so that is a blind spot I'm talking about. Once again, not much the FCA can do about it, but very dangerous, because they are giving you a product based on what they see on your file. But what they see on your file is actually limited to what the actual reality is. Number 4 is protection policies that you keep delaying. No rule forces you to prioritize life cover or income protection, but your family is exposed until you do. This is the FCA gap in its purest form. Number 5 is the car finance trap. You pass affordability checks. The lender approves you. The FCA ensures that all the paperwork is correct and the system or measures in place are fair. But you see, the FCA is not aware that the only disposable income you have is £200, yet the contracted form that you just completed is £400 per each month. This is the gap I'm talking about. It isn't regulated, it's not visible. The reality sticks with the consumer, the customer. You have that risk with you, and there's little the FCA can do about it, because what you tell them is what you get approved for. Let's talk about why this gap actually exists. The FCA approves products, but the FCA can't regulate our priorities. Our priorities is ours, it's our individual rights. And so, yes, it goes back in circles. And unfortunately, we all are not so honest when it comes to dealings with finances here and there. And that is where the problem is. The FCA regulates advice, but it can't regulate your discipline. It regulates lenders, but it can't regulate your lifestyle. That is why the FCA Gap is dangerous, because it feels safe. Once again, the FCA protects the product, but no one protects your behavior. And that is why YAT Finance exists, because I keep saying we are redefining finance. There's a lot of blind spots when it comes to systems and regulations, because there is a difference between what systems say and what is reality on the ground. I must say, God doesn't just care about what is legal. He cares about what is wise. Let me be honest. The FCA Gap is where discipline lives. It is where obedience lives. And it is also where wisdom lives. That gap will test your faith, regardless of what you believe in. As always, whenever I expose the problem, I come out with some remedy that we can all use to quench the fire. And so some steps that can be used to close and bridge this gap that makes us vulnerable and places us in this dangerous space. Number one, build a real affordable check. You know what your reality is. I know you may be desperate for the product, either a mortgage, either a loan, either a credit card, either a car finance. You know what state you find yourself in. But just so you are not stretched, just so you don't go through that systematic danger, find a way to build your own affordability. Ensure the numbers are right on the sheet. And in today's world, there are a lot of affordability checks that can be done. There are a lot of calculators online that you can use before you even approach the lender. And so why don't you do this? And if there's anything that you are slacking on or you are lacking, you ensure that you take time to put measures in place to correct these measures. Then when you approach the lender, you will talk about your reality. Now, this is one of the ways you can bridge this gap. Number two, please do your best to track your behavior, not just your budget. The budget are numbers, but your behavior is your reality. And so let's find a way to balance these two and not replace them wrongly. Budgets, okay, I can have the budget, but then, all right, even though I said £100 here at this time, okay, I need this, let me just take 200. You see, there's a difference there, because the budgets are numbers. But your behavior is the one that can really be seen. But then in the end, its output impacts us. Number three, please treat buy now, pay later as debt. Why? Because it is debt. The fact that you are paying £5 a month, £10, £20, £30 a month does not mean it is one that you are leveraging on. It is debt. It is not yours until it is cleared. Therefore, if we can't afford it, then we don't go for it. Now, I was a victim to this. I love beautiful shoes. And so I think one of the companies, what's the name? Is it EGO? EGO. They provide buy now later. I used to buy shoes and then pay them later. But then I realized I had so much shoes at some point, and these shoes I hardly even wear. Yet I kept buying them. These are things you can get out of your life and bridge the gap that FCA does not protect. Number four, prioritize protection before your lifestyle. Your family first before the car finance. If the family is not in good state, then we may not need a car finance. And also, in today's world, all right, I can understand why people will fall into that space of going on a car finance route. That is fine. But can we do all we can not to get on it? If we can. Now, and the emphasis is if we can. Yeah. Number five, please create a 90-day financial reality audit. There's a reason why I added reality audits, because only you know your truth. You know what your current situation is. And so I need you to track all of these. Number one, track your spending for the next 90 days. Please, you need to stick to this. Yeah, I'm talking to you. Yeah, you need to stick to this. Please ensure you are tracking your spending. Track your habits. Track emotional triggers. Track lifestyle creep. Track every subscription. And finally, track every £20 decision. The FCA can protect you from bad products, but only you can protect yourself from bad habits. That narrative is our responsibility. It's got nothing to do with the FCA. Unfortunately, that is a blind spot, the bit that we don't see. But then it is moved with our behavior. The FCA gap is real, it is dangerous, and it is where most financial damage habits occurs. Please do me the honor and watch this video and move that financial habit from one to the other. Let's get rid of all of the unnecessary things that we have inculcated and applied to our lifestyle, yet not adding up but impacting us negatively. As always, this is YAT Finance. I cannot wait to see you at the top. You've got this. God got you. And you can't disappoint the family. You can't disappoint the next generation. I can't wait to see you at the top once again. And hey, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next.